He was down. Come on, Bryce. What the fuck? Are we serious right now? All bullshit things. We just slid and that nigga still hit sticked us.
That team.
I can feel it in the air. Hitter, can you hear me? I can feel it in the air. All right, we got good. All right, now I got my shit popping. I know how to do this shit now. Let's go. All right, we got good. All right, now I got my shit popping. I know how to do this shit now. Let's go. Hey, hey,
Silver Crush.
hey, hey, hey.
Give me that shit right back, nigga.
Hey, hey, hey. Tune in time. Hey, hey, hey. All right, man. I'm labeling this show top race to the top stat wise. I think it's some interesting things going on early. Is that how you screenshot? I don't know how to screenshot on my phone. All right, like I said.
Oh, this game is fucking bugged, bro.
Somebody struggling over there.
No, I'm hiking the ball and they keep putting Bryce's leg up. Like they keep making his leg go up. He's not hiking the ball.
That's that motherfucking zero y'all playing on right now. Net zeros. Net zeros. They on net zeros, hitter. They on net zeros. These niggas on net zeros. They playing on net zeros. They playing on net zeros.
Power plus volume equals screenshot.
Power plus volume equals screenshot. Gotcha. It's a hard knock life for us. You know I got the Obama and shit. I got the Obama phone. Alright, so today I want to talk about games that were played, matchups, guys that won and lost in the last couple of weeks. What type of games I thought was big games that, needed to be taught. I'm also going to do a pick'em game because not a lot of people understand the pick'em game. So let me get some of these guys on the show and explain to them that, for a while now, I do shows. And in the process of me doing shows, I give out gifts. We also do pick'em games. Alright. Old pick me ass nigga. Alright, so today I want to go over, we in week 4, I think we are. Where we at? What's the schedule? Hold up, boy, I don't want to take no pictures. I want to do this. Alright, so we are in week 5 right now. So 4 weeks of football has been played. We're actually moving pretty fast through this season. I'm loving it. But I want to go through some games. I want to go through, some teams, that's playing at a high level. All the good things, man. I want to just go through. I'm going to be very opinionated on this show. Let's. I'm ready to be very opinionated on this show, and I'm hoping guys can take the criticism or the praise or the lack of praise. Because at the end of the day, it's only my opinion, right? I shouldn't be crucified for opinions. But I'm gonna talk about games. I'm gonna talk about players. I'm gonna talk about some of the players in the league, not you as a coach. Your players on your team, the things you guys are doing with it. I think it's very interesting that we have to go to stats for a second, and I'm gonna go over to the top performers. I like the race I'm seeing especially at the wide receiver and running back positions. I think those names up there. I think those names up there at the rushing leaders right now, the three. I do think you can group another 5, maybe 4 to 5 more running backs in that group as we battle it out to week 18 to see who's going to lead the league in rushing yards. And then at the receiver level, I think it's been a lot of changing up and down from weeks 1 to 4. And it's again, it's a couple of receivers that I think that should that we should look at and look out for to be able to finish the regular season as somebody in that top 3. I'm going to talk about the sack leaders, right? And the only stat I'm not going to talk about on here is tackling leaders, and unless it's a player that's on a team that's active, because we do know when you sim computer games or you don't play the game, you get a forced win, or you're not active, the computer registers 15-minute games, so they're going to have 15-minute stats. So you'll see guys that don't play, their players' stats will be high when they come down to tackle. That's why I usually ignore tackles. Or look at the divisions right now at the same time, and we're gonna look at team play, top 5 offenses and defenses in the league right now. As we get into it, so again, thanks for those that are watching right now, man. And here's the franchise guru, and we're here at season 7 in real draft. So we 14 seasons in. We might even be 15. Before 15 long seasons, we kept the same league. We had to because of the draft class issues. Didn't compare with what I do in the draft wise. For those that are, I would say this: I enjoy the league. I enjoy the competition in the league. I enjoy everybody that's playing in the league. Because the league makes things happen. I know one thing. You on Blau, better shut the fuck up.
That's me. 11.
Tell Blau to shut the fuck up. Don't nobody want to hear his mouth in the background at all. All right. So for those that really don't watch the shows or catch the shows all the time, let's talk about some of the things I do on the shows. When I go over schedules and I do look at matchups, I usually find a game to pick the winner in. And if you pick the winner in that game, you get a gift. That gift depends on what type of mood I'm in. It might be a gift I give out where I choose the gift, or I might let you pick your own gift on what you want and by telling you what I'm giving out. So let's say I'm giving out a 2-speed to excel. I might say you get to pick the player, and then you tell what you do is you got a screenshot that you hit the like button that you are watching the video. Screenshot the video, the broadcast, screenshot that. You got a screenshot that you hit the like button, and then you send that evidence to our Giants coach, and then he tallies it up and he gives everybody, till the next day, around 7:30 is when we shut it down. So if you haven't tallied that up by then and submitted that you watched the show and you looking for that gift, by 7:30 the next day, you're not going to get the gift. But this is where I give out most of my gifts at. Like I do it during the shows. I usually try to give out somewhere between 3 to 5 gifts a season, and one of those gifts be when I'm on a bye week. First 8 games played results into gifts when I'm on bye week. It's called the bye week gift, commissioner's gift. And then after that, I just try to, as I'm doing shows, I show my appreciation for y'all watching by giving gifts. But what usually happens is the same guys watch and the rich get richer. But we want everybody to tune in because I'm talking about you. This is your league. You're inside this league. We're talking about you. It's our sports center. It's our NFL network when we do these shows. So, and commenting and participating is big, man. I appreciate, everybody's opinion, especially in the comment section, and letting me know that y'all are actively watching and you're all involved in what we got going on. As far as this show, man, this show is for the league. So again, I appreciate y'all for watching and all that. Let's kick the show off right, man. Let's kick it off. Here we go. Let's talk about division play. All right, I'm gonna do a little different today. I'm gonna stay on division before I go anywhere, and we'll talk about the NFL. And until we advance, you see what the top 10 teams look like, right? The Dolphins are coming off of a loss to the Bills. We'll talk about that game. So obviously the Bills will jump the Dolphins as well as the Cardinals and the Giants being undefeated, although the Giants are in a dogfight right now. I don't know if it's still a dogfight, but they were in a dogfight early in Houston. So we got to take a look at that to see how that goes. So we do have 3 undefeated teams left. So I'll just run down this real fast because once we advance, it's going to change. Dolphins at number 1, Cardinals are at number 2, Bills are at number 3, Giants are at number 4, Saints are at number 5, Browns are at number 6, Bucks are at number 7, Falcons are at number 8, Ravens are at number 9, and the Eagles round off your top 10 with the guys that's looking in the window right now. Broncos, Chargers, Packers, football team, and the Cowboys all have 1 losses right now. We are in week 5. And it's a lot of 1-loss teams right now. So that means a lot of guys are having a good start to their season right now. All right, so now let's start with the AFC North right now. All right, so for the first time in a long time, we see the Browns are on top of this division thanks to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And they're, I would say, 3-point lead, but we'll give them the 9 points. They got with 1 second left, they made us fumble on kickoff, kick return, and they scooped that and scored, so gave them 9 points. So we'll say the Bucks beat the Ravens 9-point game in their Super Bowl rematch in the regular season. They pulled off a nice little game, man. It was a really good game actually. And the Bucks was able to close it out, motherfucking close that thing out with a nice little strong run game that really didn't need to be big runs, 6 yards, 7 yards. They didn't need that. They just needed 3 to 4 yards to carry. And I will say this, Brew McCoy got big for them, man. He became a possession receiver, and he caught a lot of short routes, a lot of drags, a lot of short route things to keep chains moving and keep his team in a situation where getting first downs and every 3 downs wasn't a problem for them to go down there, run that clock down, and kick that field goal with 1 second left. So the Browns, because of that, they get to jump on top of the Ravens, but I do think that will change because they did lose to the Saints. In the pick'em game, we picked the Saints-Browns. If you picked that game and showed proof that you was watching that video a couple nights ago, then you got the gift. Check out the main chat, and Max gourded everything that I gave out. I ain't smoked Purple Haze in so long. Let's see how this go. All right, so right now the battle in the AFC North is between the Ravens and the Browns. I'm a little disappointed in the Bengals right now, and here's why. 0-5 start, I didn't see this coming for them. I think we dealing with here's the thing. When I talk about Coach C. Hound, a lot of you guys probably don't really know him unless you're from, Miami or Florida, and he's, he got friends on his game, and they are in the league. So there's a lot of guys that do know him, but like me, I personally know him. I try to get to know everybody in my league, and he's one of my favorites, right? And he's not just one of my favorite Madden players; he's one of my favorite human beings. Period. Right, good dude. But in his background, he played the game of football and he coached the game of football. So when you come in and you got to go to Cincinnati to play the Bengals, or they coming to you, know you're dealing with a guy that knows football, right? He understands concepts. He understands football. He's coached championship teams. He's raised kids to become champions. I mean, his son is in the league on his team right now, and has an opportunity to maybe play NFL football, some type of pro sports. But we do know this: he will walk out of college with a degree, and that's because he got a strong dad in his presence, right? I'm looking to follow that same footstep as a father myself. But I say this to say this: I didn't expect him to be 0-5. I expected him to build off that season he had last year. Now, the problem with that is when you're winning, your schedule's going to change. And when his team's in your division winning, they're going to make your schedule and tough, right? So if you're a third place schedule and not a fourth place, the teams you play changes, right? And not only is that we're playing a tougher part of our schedule. And what I mean by that is like the matchups we got, NFC and AFC matchups we got dogs in those divisions. So we drew the AFC South and I mean the NFC South and the AFC. I don't want to get out of here. I think it's the West we play right now, and if not the West, is the East. Nope, it's the East. AFC South and NFC South and the AFC East. And obviously, we know in both those divisions there are some monster players over there, right? So that's just the luck of the draw of where we at right now. So I'm not mad at the 0-5 start, but what I need to see from C Hound is to be able to pit his into, because I can tell you this: when it comes down to football knowledge, there's not 5 people in the league that know the game better than him, that can teach it, coach it, understand it, and win better than him. All right. The problem is you have to be able to put it together with playing the video game. So he has to learn how to overcome the video game. Like, he's not a dumb play caller. He's not a dumb coach to understand what you're trying to do to him, but he doesn't have the savviness of understanding glitches, because he's not a guy that's going to go look at the YouTube shit, right? But he don't understand the glitches of the game and those things. And I think those things get in the way. And a guy like him, mark my words when I'm telling you, a guy like him will win in 23 as long as they don't patch the game and fuck it up. Because in 23, you're not going to better drop back 15 yards with your quarterback, run straight to the sideline with your quarterback like half these niggas that could call themselves passers do, and they really can't read the fucking field. They just throw what the game give them, right? You're not going to better do that shit, right? You're not going to better just put escape artists on your quarterback and roll out and run around and throw the ball all over. No playmaker and all that shit ain't going to be the same. The game itself right now is showing you that you have to be a pocket passer and you got to learn how to win from the pocket. And if you do get special guys like me playing with Lamar Jackson, I won't have escape artists, right? Escape artists will be an X factor ability, not a superstar ability. So even with a guy with escape artist as an X factor ability, that means it turns on and turns off, so you won't have access to it the whole game, right? So you gotta, but that doesn't mean I'm gonna not be able to be efficient with Lamar taking off and doing things like that. But anyway, back to the game. I think he will play better football because they're turning the game into a coaching game. You have to have some type of understanding, which I never thought they would ever go back to, because they're catering to little Timmies and 9-year-olds that get on the game and could just hit any button and throw a touchdown. And then they make their mom go in the purse and go buy the game. So, I think they're getting back to the hardcore gamers now and the way the game is being. Everything that I saw, metas, betters, and the YouTubers I do know that, gave me access to certain shit, they're telling me and showing me that this game is flat out football, and you better design shit. So if you want cover 4 or cover 3, right, or cover 1, to beat that, you have to know how to beat those things and run routes to set those situations up. And the defense is not going to be out of place. So that means if I call cover 3, you can't pitch a guy on this route in the slot and it's to send the outside guy on the streak. And because that slot there, the cover 3 corner comes down and cover the slot when he's supposed to be cover the third of the field. He's going to cover the third of the field. So you got to really be able to, the passers, the real passers in this league is going to love this. The Jimbos, the Coreys, the Falks. Shit, I got to put Sane on there now, even Hussein getting to that level right now where you got to give him that type of respect. Myself, if I'm forgetting you right now, I apologize, but off the top of the head, those guys will benefit from this game. Now, I think C-Hound is gonna, he's always gonna finish the dish out, man. This guy's always supporting me and being in my league, so I don't want to see him at 0-5. But the schedule is tough, and because that schedule is tough, that 0-5 is in his way right now. But I don't see him finishing under 500. I think he can get to 500 before the season is over with. And if he does that, that's another successful season for him. Because I do think he's playing better football, but I think that's where he's at right now. Now the Steelers' problem is they're not active. You're building good teams because you've been sitting in the top 5, the 10 picks every year, and you haven't really played more than 3 games, 4 games a season. So until he actually gets active, which he is this year, and he has a consistent he's consistent in being active, we're not going to really get the real Steelers either. So right now, the division is coming down to the Browns and the Ravens right now, and that matchup is going to be crucial. But also the outside matchups is going to be crucial too, because if we lose games to guys we shouldn't be losing to, it can affect us who wins this division. But right now, I'm happy to see the Browns is on top of it, but we're not comfortable with that. Now let's take a look at the AFC South. Jaguars, Texans, they've been battling it out, right? The Titans, he missed the first like 3-4 weeks of the season, 3 weeks of the league of the year, I mean, because he wasn't back to be able to play. So that puts him in a bad bind. However, the Colts, in my opinion, they're underachieving right now. Mike, you my guy, but you're underachieving right now. You understand real draft more than I would say 90% of the league. And here's why. You created it with me. So you understand real draft more than anybody. So the one thing you're always going to do well is put a team together. And it goes to show that you don't have to be winning games to put a good team together. Like, you don't have to be, always in the playoffs, always in the top, 10 and all that to put a good team together. Mike doesn't make the playoffs all the time, but his team is better than 90% of the leagues at times, right? Because he knows what he's doing, understands how to put a team together. But it has to translate to being able to win ball games. Now, I don't care what you do outside your division. What I care is what you do in your division. I think the talent level in your division is balanced to the point where you should be able to win your division. You should be able to always be in a fight. It should be at least 3 to 4 of y'all fighting all the way down to the end every year over this division. It shouldn't be dominated by one man or dominated by two teams. And those two teams right now are the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Houston Texans right now, who's in the dogfight right now. What's that score over there?
42-21.
Well, that got ugly fast. That shit good as hell. All right. When it comes down to Shoguns and the Jacksonville Jaguars, is activity. Is he active this year? If he not, like last year he knocked me off week 2, no homo, and I thought that was going to put him on pace to do something special that year. And then he things got in the way, personal stuff that he couldn't play. This year he's active, so let's see how things go this year. He lost a big time game to the Eagles. Supposedly that was a dogfight. We'll talk about that in a second, though. But the race right now is between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Houston Texans. And I do think Mike can get back in the mix of this. But I do think Mike got to step his game up a little bit more. I'll be giving clues and gems and things out on the shows. And, it's up to them to take some of that advice and go with it. I mean, I do have a good track record of helping guys be better in this game. Although guys forget, I help them get better in this game and shit. And that's for another fucking show. But, don't forget. Don't forget the things I've shown. I've given up. I've given you the keys and things that I've given you to be able to be successful in this game. Don't forget. And then definitely don't forget when you're mad at me. All right, the AFC East. Here we go.
Shot size.
I'm going straight down here to the Jets. Nah, it ain't a shot. That's just facts. It ain't a shot. It's facts. And anybody that feel like I'm talking about them probably heard me tell them that would happen. Before it happened. So anyway, but the Jets at 2-2 right now. Brian is back actively involved right now. And when it comes down to the Jets, I just think they need to advance their offense a little bit more. Defensively too. The Jets are one of the most blitzing teams in the league, and I know I'm saying that coming out my mouth, and I'm probably the most second blitzing team in the league, I would say. But the Jets are the most blitzing team in the league. The problem is the Jets got to learn how to better send that heat the way you do, because it's dangerous. It's hard to beat, especially when you man a lot. But you got to better cover your holes. You have to understand the blitzes you sending and where you weak at, and better cover that. And then offensively, I think he needs to get better in the passing game. to be able to take his team to another level. But he is 2-2 right now, and that especially early on, that means something. But the other two teams in this division, they flat out animals, and they are at each other's head every time they match up right now. And the Dolphins and the Bills are they're two of the top team coaches in our league, two of the top players in the league. And like what you see is 4-1 and 5-0 right now. Now the Bills got the first matchup where they beat the Dolphins this week. But the Dolphins is in the mix right now. I think this is going to be a good race, and I think it's going to take at least 18 games for week 18 to really figure it out and see who's doing what. All right. Now, AFC West, Broncos, Chargers, Corey's back in the mix, right? Raiders is still doing this thing, and then Cousin Tati is Cousin Tati. So we'll look at a 3-man race right now. I think Corey being back this season, congratulations on the baby. Corey, congratulations. I know you'll watch the show. You might not be watching right this second, but I know you will watch the show. So congratulations on having a newborn. Now, with that being said, 3-man race, I think the Broncos are ready to be back to the Broncos. That dominant football they do, because this is one of the better coaches in the league as far as knowing the game for real life and knowing how to make it work on Madden. So I think he's back. I think the team he put together, the team he has, I think these guys are a year older now and that they're ready. I think last year when he went into the playoffs, the secondary showed flashes of how great they was going to be. That defense showed flashes of how great they were going to be, but they still wasn't ready yet because they were diaper dandies and 1-year players. Now, they got 3 years in the league, 2 years in the league now. Now that team is ready. They're going to be a hard team to keep out of the mix of getting to a Super Bowl. I think even though Corey's back, they're going through a transition, quarterback change, no running back in the backfield, and quite frankly, he has no idea who his team identity is because he hasn't been playing with him. So he's back 4-1 right now, but that's because he's playing a fourth place schedule. So until he really get to the dogs, we really don't know. But that's the AFC in a nutshell. When you look at the AFC, it's about 5 teams that can get to a Super Bowl. In this division that I truly think can actually get to a Super Bowl. Now we get to the NFC North. Hillburgers is 3-1. Mark is back 1-4. He's one of my other favorite players to play in this league, man. To have been in my league. The Lions are 2-3. They're fighting their way back from an 0-3 start. They won the division last year, and again, the story with the Lions is this: when you get to the playoffs, we don't expect you to get to them when you usually get to it. We usually think it's going to be a down year for you. You get to the playoffs. The thing is can you follow it back up? I haven't seen you in a while have 2 years back to back where you're in the playoffs. So I think they got off to a bad start, but they're starting to clean it up a little bit right now, 2-3. I do think the race is here between 1 and 2, and they got a good shot to really still win their division. But Harold Burgers is here. And if he plays his games, anything can happen over there in Green Bay. I do know you need to get that tight end back to him, please. Get that tight end back to the Titans. You still haven't given him back, right, Max?
As far as I know, no. What's the second tight end? His name is
I don't fucking know.
I know his, I didn't know if he was on his roster. I know his name when I hear it. Hold on.
I do think this division belongs to the Lions. But I'm going to say Hillburg is going to be a thorn in the ass in the NFC South. Now, so taking a good look at it, right? You got
Harvey McCullum.
Okay, McLaughlin.
Yes.
Got you. All right, so the Saints is on top of the division right now, and at 4-1, but they just took their first loss of the season. The Bucks are coming off of a loss and then off of a big win, so that's going to put them back on top, either them or the Falcons, right? And then with the Panthers, I think at 1-3, I think he's back, clutch, and involved. So because he's back and involved, I think you'll see that 1-3 change. They're not finishing under 500 whatsoever, at all, right? So I think this division is active this season, and I think it's 4 strong this season because the Saints are showing that they actually are for real right now. They got over that Browns hump, and I thought they wouldn't win that game. I thought that would be them showing they the same old Saints, but they different right now. They're very different. right now. So I think as long as they continue to keep playing good football like that, the problem is they have the Bucks, Falcons, and Panthers in their division, and that makes it a problem. And then they're playing the whole AFC North. They already got through the Browns. They still got to take deal with the Ravens. As well, and any outside noise they got to deal with. It looked like they playing the NFC East as well. They just played the Cowboys, so their schedule is going to get tough, and they're going to have to stay of course this year, right? But again, I think it's four good teams over here right now, four good coaches over here that can give anybody a problem any given advance. So we like this. As of now, the Bucks have won this division every year. Who's going to challenge him in the last two seasons to figure out if they can, surpass him one year, right? Now, in the NFC East, our most active division, and which makes it the best division. 4-0 Giants. They're looking like they're about to go 5-0 over the Houston Texans. The Eagles sitting at 4-1. The football team is back in the mix at 3-1, and the Cowboys. I told y'all they were back. And this is a scary sight because when this division is playing the way they playing, if somebody slip up, we'll have four NFC East teams in the playoffs if y'all keep playing around and slip up. The problem is they got to play each other. So and that's the mix with them right now. So the Giants have won this division every year except for the first season. With the Eagles and the Cowboys being the main two teams that fight them for that division, and the football team inconsistently, but one of the better coaches in the league, but inconsistently gives us a challenge, gives that division a challenge. I think at this point right now, that team is very different. I think that defense is top three in the league right now. And if they can just their quarterback's playing really well. Let's not take that away from the quarterback. But if he gets on that course of not throwing dumb interceptions or game changing interceptions, this team is hard to beat over here right now. The running back for the Eagles is being used a lot now by the Eagles, so that's big because we know what they can do in the passing game. That run game gets going. They got their tailback is on the top 3 list right now, and he's putting in work with that running back right now. He got 99 carries in 5 games and double-digit touchdowns already.
Underrated Cajun.
NFC West. All right, so Drew had a big year last year, and now he can't play because he won't go buy a joystick. And that's all I'm gonna say about that. You can't have a year and then a 10-3 season in the regular season, and then don't really play the very next year. You lose 2 or 3 games, and then you're not active no more. And when that happens, man, you never give your team that chance to really take the next step because you're on and off, right? And that's that. Seahawks are continuing to learn how to play franchise mode and learn how to play in my league. I keep telling y'all, my league is different. You go outside. You guys play in other leagues or play with guys that played in my league before. They love it while they in it, hate it while they not out of it. They're gonna tell you all types of shit. But what I'm gonna say is my league is different because we do edit over here, and because of the editing, it changes some things. So you don't have to just learn how to play the competition in the league. You have to learn how to adjust and adapt to playing in my league because my league is not you're not really in tune with the league. You just play every 48 hours and play your game. If you don't spend time with your team in my league, you're not going to, or spend time at off season. You can't be in my league and don't draft every year, and don't really check out free agency and do things like you have to be participant because that's why I do what I do because I make guys engage to not just playing the game. You can't just line up, don't do your practices, don't do your training, hop in this bitch, play a game and win 10 to 12 games every year. That's not gonna happen over here. And I think the Seahawks and the Rams both are in that same category where these guys are great guys to have in your league, and the more they learn it, the better they're going to be. And their success is going to happen outside of our league. They're going to go to other leagues and be successful there before they're successful in our league. All right, so that's all the divisions, and that's what we got going on in those divisions, and my opinion of guys. Now let's go to stats right now, and we're looking at the top 3 here, right? I'm sorry, I keep going over. All right. All right, here we go. All right, so the passing leaders this week are Felix Harper, Khalid Williams, Ray Wills. These guys all been in the building since week one. All these guys have been actually, in that race, that top three race with Anthony Iverson and Nico Amaliva have also been, in the race through the first 4 or 5 weeks or the first 4 games. All right, but this running game, Ruben Owens, Zamir White, Jalen Knighton, these guys been shuffling all season, and it's been a couple of other guys that I think that might not be in that race, in the top 3 race, all 4 games, but are going to have something to say before it's all in and done. The most exciting race right now is the receiver leaders, right? McEwen is there. Troy Franklin, Amari Clark, both the New Orleans Saints receivers are back in the building. And just before they finished their game, you saw Malachi Wyman and you saw Pistol Warwick sitting in the building right now. And what's intriguing is because I think you could probably go 5, maybe 10 deep at the receiver position, that one of these guys, one of those 10 will finish in the top 3. All right, so the sack leaders, the one consistent sack guy on this list right now is Barno, period, right? 10. But Angelo Falk he's a monster. Let's not act like this guy's not a dog. But this year it seems like he's having a breakout year where he's like ready to top the best season he's ever had. And then you got Curtis Jacobs with 8 at right outside linebacker for the Falcons right now. That's balling right now as well. And then we come down to the interceptions, the user, Damon David, 9, Zach Holiday with 7, and Marquise Breeston with 5. 2 bucks out of the 3 are in that race, but I do think, again, we could probably go 5 deep here as well. And the tacklers, the only tackler I'm going to talk about is Ed Reed II, because he is on the team. He's on its active team, and that's the Browns right now. And I think the Browns are smart. The moment we take abilities off these veterans that have been in the league, they've been 99'd out for a long time, and they just can't have their abilities no more, is the moment guys say, fuck those guys. And the Browns seem like he's not on that. He's been doing it for a while now, or he's still bringing those guys in the building and he's plugging and playing them. And I realize, I'm doing it right now with my player, Anthony Israel. He doesn't have abilities on him right now, but he has 2 interceptions on the season. He still can play the game. He's just not going to acrobat or one step ahead of you and nothing like that. But like, he still can play. Still could be a guy that can change the game at any moment. So now that we're talking about the race, let's look at the race. Let's really look at what we got going on right now and what quarterbacks that we think are going to finish this list right now, finish it off in 18. So Felix Harper, I think he's here to stay. I think he's the truth. He's for real. I love the fact that he's 70%, 464.2 yards a game. Now, I'm going to stop right there, and we're going to stay at Phillips. We're going to dig into him for a second. We're going to see how much of the truth this guy has been. All right, so let's just call a spade what a spade is. All right, against the computer, 537 yards, 5 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. I don't know if he played Mark or not, but Mark's not up there in talent level as far as playing the game, so he comes out and do it again, 527, 64. So his first 2 games really are cakewalks. The Tennessee Titans come in, not a cakewalk, but he don't know his team right now, and half his players are everywhere else right now, so he played the game. So that's another game where, not top level at the moment, you went crazy on 474, 7 touchdowns, 2. Now, I'm not saying this to throw insult or throw shade at him. What I'm saying is, I'm breaking down a quarterback in there and how for real they are, because you heard me say he's for real and he's here to stay, right? All right, now the Jets 49-9, ass whooping, 409, 158, perfect QB rating in that game, 5 touchdowns, no picks. That's that I'm locked in game, period. You playing man all game long, I'm gonna tear that shit up, because his scheme will tear man up if you sit in it too long. Then he goes against the Bills, and this is what I wanted to see. You're playing a top-tier team. You're playing your divisional rival, and he had a bad game. 3 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, 103.6 QB rating. He was sacked 5 times as well. All right, so that's his first bad game of the season. But guess what? Even in that bad game, the stat line is there. 374 yards adds to all the 500 and 400s he's been throwing. So as the schedule goes and gets a little tougher, We want to see Felix Harper still remain. The one thing he's done is he showed us he can do that. He's done it since he's been a Miami Dolphin, right? He's been a guy that's been consistently racing for the top yardage in the league as far as passing yards. So therefore, I know he's going to continue to do it. But to make that next step for Felix Harper is Trigger Man has to be able to do this in games that he's not expecting to do it in. You got to have that type of moment of 527 yards, of 474 yards, or 409 yard, 5 touchdown, no pick. You got to have that moment in a game you're not expecting to do it in. But also, Trigger Man is one of the best quarterbacks in the league right now, playing for one of the better passing coaches in the league right now. All right, next up, Khalid Williams. I'm going to do the same thing with him. 26 touchdowns, 10 interceptions, 68%. He's also throwing for 443.4 yards a game. I mean, that's a lot of yards per game right now. So let's go look at the same conversation with Khalid Williams. All right, versus the Steelers, 7 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Versus the Bengals, 485, 6-4. Now, what happens is 0-5, 0-5, right? So he went crazy in those games. 49ers, computer game, 7 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Then you get to the Browns, which is a big-time game. And this is what you want to see. The Browns, you got to give him, he's the playoff team, you got to give him the credit of this is a big game for him. And he 134.3, 337, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. Even in his loss against the Cowboys, who has a really good defense, he still threw for 348 yards, and he only threw 1 interception. Khalid Williams has arrived as of right now. He's playing breakout football right now. Because I could take the tough game right here, and I could take the loss game right here, and he's still consistently getting it done. So they didn't lose because of their quarterback. The question is, can he be consistent from now to week 18 all the way through? Can he be consistent? I think he's on pace right now. I think the Saints is different. I think they actually are playing good football, and I don't think it matters who they're going to play. I think Khalid Williams has entered that zone right now. He's in that zone right now. All right, we're looking at Ray Wills, man. Ray Wills. You know, one thing about Ray Wills is he's not a turnover magnet at all. I would think in 4 games he'd be a little bit concerned about the 9 interceptions right now. But again, 71%. He's averaging 438 yards a game, so that's 434. A QBR of 130.7. And he comes out of games, big games, with no interceptions. Right? They have no problem. All right, so the Falcons 3-4. Look, 3-1 touchdown. Panthers 7 touchdowns, 2 interceptions against the Giants 0-3, and that's really unconventional of a Ray Wills and the Bucs offense. Because they can check you down and drag you to death and get that 53.5 to 100 QB rating real fast. So in this game, it was a little unconventional. It looked like the Giants was on their shit this game. And really took it to Ray Wills. 230 yards, no touchdowns, and 3 picks. But then he followed that back up in a really big tough game that he was able to put the team on his back, and put the drive together to win this game right here. And look, 140, he came out of this game unscathed, no interceptions, threw 2 touchdowns, 321 yards. With his longest pass being 68 yards on a 1-play tutty. So, and then he gets to the Seahawks and 124.8, 578 yards, 8 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. And that's because you're playing a guy that, you know you can beat, so you're going to take chances here. So now he's not playing, safe, methodical. He's playing, I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna let that thing fly. And I think that's where those 3 interceptions came from. But he's consistently going to be in that race as well. He's definitely a top tier quarterback. He's in that tier 1 for sure. So we like him on this list and this race for sure. All right, number 4, Anthony Iverson. 24 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, 67%. We don't want that 67%. I think that we should be trying to be 70% or better. 395 yards. To be honest with you, that 395 not a good look for us. That's not our game. Like we're throwing the ball because we dick riding a receiver this year, but that's not us. We don't want to be that 400 yards a game type shit. Like we're cool with 250 passing yards to 350 somewhere around there. I think when we're at that, we're playing complete football. That means our run game is off the hook and our passing game is efficient. Do I think he could stay in a QB race as a top 5, top 3? Yeah, I don't know if I don't see him ever finishing really as the number 1 yards. I could see touchdowns, but not the number 1 yards guy. So I'm not even gonna look at his own stats. Nico Amaliva, this team, I think he has the gift to be able to do that. When he's playing his best football is because he's flinging that thing around the park, right? And his running back can give you 9 carries for 120 yards because of how he's flinging it around the park. So 23 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, 66%. I would think he will want his quarterback to be at the 70% real as well. But my surprise guy right here is Jeff Sims. Now, can he consistently do this and stay in his race? I think as long as he's playing football like this, only 6 interceptions through 4 games. We usually see way more interceptions by him. But as long as he's doing this, I think they will have something to say for their division and for the playoffs. They'll have something to say as long as he continues to play football like that. All right. Next up, Jaden Daniels. If you don't think Jaden Daniels can't be a top 3 passing yards quarterback, then you ain't paying attention. This team throws the ball a lot, right? That's their offense. So he's always going to have opportunities. Like the Dolphins, they throw the ball hell a lot. They're about 95%, 90% throw the ball. And because of that, they're always going to be able to be in the race for passing yards. No, now I would think he will want to clean up those interceptions. 10 picks, 19 touchdowns, 67% right now. I think he want to clean that up. But the way they play, they got a wild cowboy offense, right? They got a circus act, man. They got a high flying circus act. So that means when you flinging the ball and you taking, it's one thing to throw the ball. It's one thing to throw the ball 10 yards every time you throw the ball, 5 yards, 2 yards, 3 yards, 5 yards. But when you flinging that thing 30, 40 yards down the field 25 times a game, you're going to throw picks, especially right now where we're at in this current stage of the league we're in. You're going to throw picks. There's aliens running around. They're going to get to them shit. So I like T, man, because he ain't no pussy. He take chances. He don't give a fuck, right? But you're not going to beat the teams that do give a fuck. It's not going to beat the teams that are going to just take what you give them all game long. Play real football with your ass. It ain't going to let you video game them to death, right? But, you got to respect it because that's how he play it, and he got big guts on him. He ain't scared to let that thing fly, man. And the more you let it fly, the more chances you take, and that's why you see 10 interceptions. Now, however, I would like to see more touchdowns than 19 right now from him. All right, the next 2 quarterbacks, I'm going to skip over DT for a second because I'm going to talk about him because I always talk about DT. I love the golden child. All right, so Dante Moore. I love this, man. The Lions lost a quarterback, but the problem is he lost the job for the Lions as well. Quinn Ewers took that job from Dante Moore, and it happened in the Baltimore when the Lions beat the Baltimore Ravens last year, and Dante Moore got hurt. He never got the starting job back when Ewers took that job. And they didn't pay him. They got him out of free agency, and they didn't sign him back. And that gave the Bills an opportunity to move on from Mike Weber, which was controversial in a way. But I'm going to tell you like this. I don't know if I'm right. Again, this is my opinion. He might not even like what I'm saying right now. But what I will say is this. Weber was great, and to me, was one of the best quarterbacks I've ever seen throw the deep ball, right? Great. But Weber ain't have that extra speed you need to get around defenses like the Baltimore Ravens, who are flying up front in their 7. Their front 7 is flying, right? And I think this move right here was younger quarterback, really good young quarterback, And they don't have a problem moving on from Weber because he does bring them another dimension, and that's in the run game. That's in an escape ability to be able to escape and get you on playmakers and escape and throw the. And I don't think they think that he's too far off from what Weber was doing. And honestly, I think the coach is a good QB coach, so I think he can get Dante to play at that level. And let's take a look at it: 14 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, 71%. I mean, he only been sacked 4 times. That's big. That's big right there. So I think we're going to have to start to look at Dante more and really pay attention to him because I do think this kid is going to be in the mix, right? He's going to be in the mix over there, right? As they are completing their entire offense right
Good
now.
move.
Let's take a look at something real fast. All right. And then you get like this is big. You get it when you bring a new quarterback in the mix and you get some games like this right away. It helps you in the development of that guy. It gives them more confidence. It gives them, the opportunity to show off, right? And what happens is, if I'm Hoodie, this is the type of schedule I would have wanted for my first 4 games to go into that week 5 Dolphins game. And here's why. You want to get this quarterback acclimated with your team. You want to better understand what you got with this quarterback. And you had Vikings, Steelers, Lions, and Packers to be able to do that. And then you get into the Dolphins game, and something is special about this kid because the Dolphins have a really good secondary now. I mean, he is 122.9, so 123. He threw for 548 yards, 5 touchdowns, 2 sacks, and 2 picks, and only sacked 1 time. That's big. That's big. 24 for 40, threw the ball 40 fucking times. So that tells you he trusts this guy. And that's huge right now. That's scary. We got to face this kid. And I think, you go get a Dante Moore to be able to, a faster quarterback like that for, the type of defense he built. That speed that he got all over his defense from front 4, front 7 to the secondary. And then, the ultimate test is you get this guy how much of an escape can he be when you got to go up against that Baltimore Ravens front 7 that's flying. Where you got line DBs, linebacker and D lineman that can catch your quarterback if he only 90 speed, right? And 93 is the difference between him and Mike Weber. All right, Darren Thomas is in a situation like this. If you know anything about
He
Philly,
and Weber run the same speed.
nah, fuck that. He ain't faster than He faster than Webb. Webb don't got fucking the agility and change the direction he got. I don't hear that shit. Listen, in the city of Philadelphia, brotherly love. Hear me out when I'm ready to say this. Their fans are the most ignorantest fans probably in the world. They ignorant as shit. When you play in
Weber
Philadelphia,
better go look.
what'd he say? Oh, I missed it. What'd he say? Don't disappear. Whoever better, go look. Then why you playing him then, man? Take your ass to sleep, hoodie. We know Weber better. Well, we know Weber better. All right, so why you playing Dante Moore?
Weber ass.
All right, in the city of Philadelphia, brotherly love. Y'all ready for the realest shit I'm gonna say?
Weber fell
Cause
off.
I'm gonna combine real life with the video game. All right, and this is what Coach Rob is in. Why has Coach Rob and his staff and his football team have had uh, a great success over the last decade? And why are the fan base calling for their heads right now? Would you ask me why look, could anybody understand where I'm going at with this? So, the golden child, who's one of my favorite quarterbacks. Remember, I just said that. One of my favorite quarterbacks. But why are they looking for the kid on the bench to take over? Why are they wanting the head coach the fuck out of there? Why is he on the chopping block in a sense, right? Because what's happening is when you have success like the Eagles is having, they want more. They don't want to lose every wild card round. They don't want to be. They don't want to get to the wild card round and be comfortable with that. They want to see more. So because of that, their coach is on a motherfucking hot seat. Their quarterback is on the hot seat, and they got to find a way to take that next step. And if they don't, they're going to be on a hot seat. Especially when you got a dog at quarterback sitting behind him, just waiting for his time to play. With that being said, one of the most consistent quarterbacks in the league is Darren Thomas Jr. Simple as that. He's been 71% over the last 5 years. He pitched his team in a situation to win ball games. They're usually going to win or lose because of him, right? And they win more than they lose. So that tells you how good this guy is. And to me, he's one of the better quarterbacks. However, when the Eagles are playing their best football, we're not going to see Darren Thomas as a guy leading in stats when they're playing their best football. And I think that correlates with them, you know, what they're doing this year, running the football. We love the 17 touchdowns to the 8 interceptions, and that's 71%. But even with 361 yards a game, they're running the ball because their running back is somewhere between third or second on that list of best runners in the league right now, and stat-wise. So, again, we like it. We like it a lot. We got another new starting quarterback in Marcus Stokes. They throw the ball a whole lot, 12-5. He's doing really good as a rookie thus far. 315 yards a game, 72%, only 5 interceptions. He threw 12 touchdowns, so he's balling out right now as well, too. All right, that's my quarterback conversation. That's my quarterback play. Let's get to this run game right now. All right. When the Cowboys is the Cowboys, they have one of the best running backs in the league right now. They made this guy win the Rookie of the Year, and they try to build off of that. They try to say, you know, they pretty much not trying to say, they telling us flat out that y'all better pay attention to Ruben Owens. RO, run often. Who called him that? Hit it? Run. He called him run over. I call him RO. Mr. Owens, right? He's for real. He the real deal. And I'm gonna be honest with you. You're gonna have a problem dethroning him as the leading rusher this year. That's anybody. You're gonna have a problem because he is the Cowboys' offense. That means he's getting the touches, whether he's catching the ball out the backfield or running the football. He's getting the touches. And he's the truth, man. I think they got a guy that they passed the torch to, and he's diving in deep right now. So let's check out. And obviously, look, let's just call it what it is. The Cowboys ain't 4-1 right now without him. Period. Without him. All right. 26 carries, 28 carries, 18 in their win over the Rams. And I don't know if he played this game or not, but 29 carries, 30 carries. So what you're seeing is whoever he plays, he's getting 25 or more carries right now. He doesn't have a game under 26 carries right now. So he's touching the football. 5.44 touchdowns, almost 9 yards a carry against the Texans, 4 touchdowns. 29 carries against the Bengals. The Bengals just gave his running back 40 against me, so they running the ball. They don't give a fuck. 4.23. This was a running game. This game probably went fast as hell. Like, damn, we in the fourth quarter already? 122 yards, 4.23 touchdowns, and then there went over the Saints. He touched the ball 30 times for 324 and 11 yards a carry, 4 touchdowns right here. That's big. That's huge. That's dominating, and that's I care. This is my guy, and fuck what y'all got to say. He getting the ball, stop him. And that was in the run game. He only caught 7 passes this year, right, and 1 touchdown. But he do get even more active in the passing game. So right now, he's running guys out the gym right now. So you other running teams right now, take notice, right? Because the next guy I'm going to talk about on this list runs that ball as well. And they won't go away from it. And that shit will put you in a bind if you ain't doing the right shit. You ain't matching their energy. they can put you in a situation because what happens when your running back touch the ball 26 times, 28 times, 29 times, 30 times? That's 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 30 chances of you not throwing an interception or turning the ball over. It's 29 chances because you don't see no fumbles next to this guy's name at all. So and against the Saints, that was 30 times of him not turning the ball over. Bengals 29 times. Texans 28 times. Colts 26 times. He's here to stay. 906 yards on the year right now. That just catapulted him past everybody that he was close with because he had 600 yards, something before that. He just had a 342 performance, and that catapulted him to 7 yards a carry, 16 rushing touchdowns, 181 yards a game, and 906 yards on the season. Next up, on 99 carries, this man don't even got 100 carries yet, and he's number 2 in the league in rushing at 6.6 yards a pop with 11 rushing touchdowns. He averaged 131 yards a game, 655 yards. This is what makes the Eagles more scarier than they already are, because their running back is the truth. And he's really the truth. And the fact that they are invested in him tells us a lot. But what we did see was we saw him lead the league in touchdowns over the last couple of seasons. What we want to see is, can he give him 30 carries if he had to? And what would he do with them 30? What happens when they have to rely on him to run the ball to win them the game right now? He did it against the Jaguars. There it go, 59-22. And this is what I wanted to see. 30 carries, 254 yards, 8.5 for a touchdown. Because what happens in this game, usually the Eagles will throw the ball 40 times and throw 5 to 6 picks in that game and lose it. They get their running back 30 in that game, and he's been legit. Outside of that, no, 17, 11, and 16, but 30 and 25 the last 2 games. And to me, they're ready to let him get going because he's showing them that he can do it. That's a scary situation for Zamir White. And if he's touching the ball like this, then we have to think about him as being a guy that can actually win the rushing title along with RO in front of him and shit. So 2 NFC East teams got running backs going crazy right now. And they tough. They're durable. Now, Jalen Knighton, 122 carries, 597 yards, 4.94 touchdowns. I think if he can average somewhere between 5.5 to 6 yards a carry, it changes some things over there for him. He's getting a lot of carries for 5 yards a pop, and that's great, 5 yards a pop. But on a video game, that's probably around the average of what guys do with their running backs yards per carry at this point. I think Knighton has to take that step where he can take that up for 1.5 yards, and if he does that, man. And then the other thing that's scary is that for all these carries, and he only had 4 rushing touchdowns. So this concerning to me because he's not finishing the deal. But I'm not worried about it. Like, I'm not worried about him. I think that, it might, it could be anything. It could have been the teams you played. I mean, this is not an easy schedule to start. I mean, absolutely fucking terror schedule to start off with. I mean, you play the Cardinals, Bucks, and Falcons. Right there, you're playing 3 out of the, top teams in this league. Just those 3 alone. So 4 yards, 4.4 against the Cardinals. He averaged 7.1 yards. How are we gonna disconnect? Come on, man. I'm on a 5. All this shit still happened on a 5? God damn. Because at my eyes, I was active, dog. I was just actively hitting that shit, looking through stats. Fucking asshole. Am I still live? Are we still live? Yep, we still live. Alright. Let's get back to this. Alright. So, again, Jalen Knighton. Let me get back over here. Bear with me, fellas. Season stats. All right, so he averaged 7 yards a carry against the Bucks, 5 against the Falcons, and 3.5 against the Saints on 35 carries on the 21 yards. So what this tells me is it doesn't matter. See, this is that 12 carries. I can have 12 carries with him, and he can have, average 3 yards a carry in that 12 carries. But I know if I give him another 12, something's going to happen, and that's a guy that'll stay with his system and stay with his player, knowing what type of player he has. So you see it in this 35 carry game, 121 yards here, 3.52 rushing touchdown. And again, I think the touchdowns will start happening because they do give him the football. I want to see if he really does in the passing game. And this is a guy that that really generates majority of their offense, and that's a good thing. 5, 8, 7. I mean, catching the ball out the backfield along with those runs. So he's a complete weapon. And I do think he'll be in the mix because he's going to get the opportunity to be in the mix because he's going to get the football for the Carolina Panthers. And as long as he's touching the football, things can happen. All right. Now, Gavin Sawchuk stepped on this list. And I do think the Bengals will have opportunity to have him in the mix. 4.4 yards a pop, 4 touchdowns. I mean, he literally gave him 40 carries against me. But the guy has breakaway home run speed, so if he gets to that second level, third level, is a wrap. It's lights out. But let's look at him right now. 21 carries. Now, his first 2 games wasn't successful at all. And they started to turn the corner against the Browns. And since then, he's starting to look like that running back we saw late last year. 24, 35, 40. And don't think that that's going to change, right? He's going to get the ball somewhere between that 24 and 40 times a game with no issues right here. 3.8, 1 touchdown. I mean, he had 150 yards in the first half on me. The thing that changed is we was able to start, stopping him from breaking 5 to 6 yards every time he touched the ball, to making him barely get out the backfield. And he never went away from it. He still gave him the football entire time, because for every 3 tackles we had behind the line of scrimmage or right at the line of scrimmage, he had another 3 runs where he had 8 to 20 yard runs. So actively getting the ball, and I think if he's going to get the ball this much, we got to consider him as a guy in the mix, because his last 3 games he's been over 100 yards. And a lot over 100 yards, 135, 224, and 152. And we never get that type of yards up when we play somebody. Our team plays really good against the run, not today. I mean, you look at the average, we did a pretty good job, 4 yards to carry there, but I mean, 152 yards, that's big time. So we're going to look at Gavin Sawchuk and say, yes, he can be in the mix there. Evan Pryor with 98 carries, 591 yards, 6 yards to pop, 14 touchdowns. This is a speed demon and an offense where a guy knows what to do with his players. Simple as that. I do think he's going to be in the mix. I don't know for how long will he be in the mix, because here's why. He hasn't had the opportunity. He hasn't even been 1,000-yard back in his 4-season career. So he has to at least crack that 1,000-yard mark for it, right? He's been a double-digit touchdown guy 3 out of the 4 years so far. And he's already surpassed that with 14 8-balling this year. But let's see what he's doing game in and game out. So look, he's only had 1 game where, oh my God, that gets ugly. 8 carries, 7 yards. The Dolphins better be proud of themselves. He had 0.9. He barely had a yard per carry. Had a touchdown in this game. But before that, every game was 100 plus. So we shall see how this goes. I don't think Evan Pryor will be the running back that will be in a running back race as most rushing yards this season because of their style of play. I don't see them doing that. But as long as we seeing these right now and he's here, we got to pay attention to it, because at this point he averaged somewhere between 80 to 100 yards a game. He's in the mix. All right, Brian Robinson for the Cleveland Browns, and Catrone Allen and Cameron Harris. I don't know if this is starting running back over here, or is he getting the starting carries right now, or is this backup running back that's just the in between the tackle guy, Breece Hall and Kenneth Walker. So what I will say is Walker, Breece Hall, Harris, and Brian. I want to say Brian Robinson. Nah, that's not enough carries. 82 carries ain't gonna cut it. Catrone Allen. I think these guys will be in that top 10 race. I don't know if they can finish in that top 3, but they'll be in that top 10 race. All right. See, the receiver position is a little crazy right now, because we got diaper dandies. We got guys that having breakout years. That's going crazy right now. We got new weapons running around. I mean, you heard Hoodie say he got a young guy that's coming up. I'm assuming it's Stockton. But in the beginning of this, bear with me. I talked about Mike McEwen and Pistol Ward as diaper dandies. We're going to see if there's any more diaper dandy that's surprising us right now. But when it comes down to catches, Mike McEwen with 52 catches on the year, he's the only receiver over 1,000 yards already. And he ain't just bombing you away. 19.3 yards a catch, that means he's involved. That means he's a route runner. That means he's not just catching, deep ass crossing routes and 25-yard, 30-yard corner routes and post routes, and he's playing football. That means they got him actively in their offense and they getting him the football. He's shitting right now, too. This man averaging 200 yards a game right now. Stankin Franklin, 48 catches. His counterpart, Amari Clark, who's actually their number one receiver, he has 38 catches on the season right now. Evan Stewart, 32. God damn, Jaleel Ruggs, boy, out the backfield right now, boy. Maybe we should start calling the Bucks a branch of the Bill Walsh offense as well. I like this. This is impressive with Jaleel Ruggs, though. 12.3 yards a pop. That means he'll playmaker you and throw the ball to him short out the backfield, and he'll playmaker the life out of you for 12.3. That ain't bad at all. 2 touchdowns. He almost averaging 100 yards a game as a receiver. That's pretty big, man. Especially with the weapons they got over there. That's huge. And you're looking at Peter Work with 31 catches. Malachi Wyman, 29. And here's the Bills' new. Is this the new guy you talking about? Keenan Stockton, the Jets receiver that he didn't sign back? Brew McCoy, who's the actual number one receiver for that Bucks team over there, 29 catches as well. And then the only tight end on the list right now, Deuce Robinson, with 27. He's having a monster season. And then there's Jordan Addison with 27 as well. So let's stop there and let's go back up. All right, again, Mike McEwen, 1,006 yards. He leads the league in catches, receiving yards, yards per game, and touchdowns. As a diaper dandy, my nigga. He said he was in good hands and he's showing out, showing off. Right now, Mike McEwen is consistently showing this season. Don't y'all easily offended guys get offended because I'm saying what I'm ready to say. He's the best receiver this year right now. Nobody's playing better than him right now. All right, against the Patriots, 14 catches, 217 yards. Against the Bears, 9 catches, 219 yards. Against the Titans, 13 catches, 189 yards. Against the Jets, 10 catches, 262 yards. 5 touchdowns, 4 touchdowns, 2 touchdowns, 3 touchdowns. And in his loss, 41 of 45 against the Bills, he was successfully shitting. 6 catches, 6 catches, 119, 9.9, almost 20 yards a catch, and a touchdown in this game as well. He's having a dynamic start to his career right now. And we want to at this point right now, the signs are pointing up that he will continue to do this year, the rest of the year. Right, this is big time football right here. All right, that Troy Franklin, Stankin Franklin, the Oregon receiver, man. Listen, we saw him in his career debut as an NFL player, go crazy that year, broke a record or two, and then he got shelved. Well, he's back in the mix right now, and the Saints finally figured out, I got dogs at receiver. I just got to continue to use him instead of just dick riding one all year. So now he's dick riding 2. And look what he's doing with that dick ride, too. 48, 900, 18.8, 180 yards a game, 10 touchdowns. And Clark right behind him with 38 catches for 845, 22.2 yards a pop, 169 a game, and 11 touchdowns. I mean, that's impressive. He is balling with these two guys right now, man. And they got it going on right now. Good shit. Troy Franklin and Amari Clark. Pistol Ward is next up, 31 catches, 811 yards, 26.2 yards a pop, 162 yards a game, 12 touchdowns. I mean, we flat out dick ride him. We just dick ride, and that's all that is right now, right? We don't care. We dick ride. But when it come down to receivers, man, to be honest with you, out of the first four that I'm talking about, I'm a dick ride Peter Ward all year as much as I can, to be honest with you. But I don't know if I can finish in the top three with my receiver. I just don't see it happening. So I think he can fall out of that top 4 to 5.
That's why I didn't run the ball.
But I do think these guys are here to stay. They're gonna play out here to stay. Wyman has to be in that mix as well. Now let's look at some names that we don't see before, because Evan Stewart, he's always in the mix, man. He's their number one receiver over there. He's balling out. I'll get back to just looking at individual stats and what they did per game. But Keenan Stockton, let's talk about him for a second. Let's see where he played at before they found him in free agency. Oh, he was in Chicago. I had just made him. Oh, God. He be finding them motherfuckers, boy. But he playing, see what he doing right now. 5 catches, 92 yards, 2 touchdowns, week 2. 2 touchdowns, week 3. Really ain't touched the ball in that game. Then he comes out next 2 games and go fucking crazy. This is why he said he got a guy on a rise right here. This is what on a rise look like. Right? Then you go 7 for 219, 31.3 and a touchdown. Then you go bonkers against the Dolphins. 9 catches, 276, 30.7 yards a pop and a touchdown. All right, so he's heating up right now. So we're going to pay attention to Stockton because he's heating up. 6'2", 186, got the speed of a cheetah, and he's heating up right now. Good shit. How about Christian Watson for the football team? I mean,
Just got X Factor.
Unlocked his ad, X Factor Shorty. All right, so 1 catch for a touchdown and against the Eagles, and then since then it's been let's go 6, 6, and 4, and he's been 100 plus. I mean he had 258, 222. He's shitting 4 touchdowns apiece in both those games. And he's finally having a breakout year. This is a breakout year right here. 4 catches against the Steelers, 147, 2 touchdowns. And him and the tight end from that team is breaking out right now. They both breaking out this year. I mean, he's having a killer season right now. He hasn't had a game under 100 right now. So Deuce Robinson, man, get ready to introduce yourselves to DR2 because he's here. And he's looked like he's really here. And it looked like Jeff Sims is really starting to find his favorite targets right now, with the tight end and Watkins right now. All right, so let's dig into Troy Franklin and see what he's doing game and all his games so far. What's up, son? Huh? I think we got to order something, buddy. What y'all want to eat? Huh? Ask Julian and find out. See what Grandma wants too. 11, 193, 8, 145, 12, 277, 7, 163, 2, and then against the Cowboys, 10 catches for 122 yards. I mean, he is shitting with his fucking receiver. That's one. What the other one doing? Oh my God. Jesus. Yeah, he is shitting with his receivers right now. 15 for 265. 6 for 120, 9 for 231, 5 for 116, 3 catches for 113, and 2 touchdowns against the Cowboys. Ain't putting in that twerk right now. Oh my God. All right, so I think it's a nice little race. I think the receiver pool is a little bigger than all the other pools right now. I mean, I'm all the way down here to Boo McCoy. I think Village Jones. I think the guys I'm looking at down here can have something to say. I think Dion won't be that guy because he's making Mike McEwen that guy. And that just shows you how special the Saints is. We're doing 2 guys like that right now. I don't know if he can continue that pace though. It's hard to get two guys sitting like that game in and game out when the competition get better. All right, that's the receivers. That's the show. I'll holler at y'all when we holler at y'all on the next one. You heard? We'll get on that defensive side of the ball and see how that's going. Other than that, and hit the franchise guru. I will holler at y'all when I holler at y'all.